Oh, here we go. We just had our Christmas party last night, so Raine is there. She's a bit fragile, so she'll just be lying there today. I thought this would be a good chance to do a quick Q&A. Every once in a while I'll post a question on my Instagram, like asking you guys to ask me questions you have about me travelling, basically. And I've gotten a few here, so I thought I'd just go through them. The first one is, how do you get free trips? They're not all completely free. There'll be like flights included, or the hotel. With hotels, it's you stay in the hotel for a night and you post one photo. That's how they normally work. If they're like a bigger hotel, it's you take more photos for them and then you post as well, but they use the photos themselves as well. Or if it's like a tour or anything like that, basically, and it's just they email you or they message you on Instagram, and that's just kind of how it works. What happened in the first hotel in Cappadocia? There was an issue with them picking us up from the airport. It's about a 2-hour drive and we didn't have any money on us, so we couldn't get like a taxi or anything, and it would cost like a fortune anyway. So I'd spoken to the hotel for like 3 months, making sure, like even the night before I called them saying, look, we're going to be on the flight, we're going to be there at 9:30. And they were like, oh yeah, don't worry, everything's fine. So they didn't turn up. And we had to make our own way through like the little villages in Turkey to try and get to the top of this mountain somewhere. And we got there and they were incredibly rude. So I posted my story and then they blocked us, which was strange because then they wanted me to take photos for them. So we just kind of left that hotel because we left the room, went for dinner, came back and things stopped working in the room. So they kind of just wanted us to leave. So we stayed in a different hotel and they were actually really lovely, and they're the ones that I took all like the nice photos in and stuff. They have a great view. What's the best way to get to Cappadocia? If you fly to Turkey, land in Istanbul, and then get another connecting flight to Kayseri, and then get your hotel to come pick you up from the airport, because if not, it's a really long journey to try and get into the like little mountainy area. I wouldn't go from like Bodrum, which some people do, because that's just a longer route basically. Did you pay to take photos at the carpet place? So in Cappadocia there's a place called Gallery Ikman, and basically I was talking to him and he's like just frustrated at the fact that people go to his place and just take photos and leave. They don't ask him about the carpets, they don't talk to him, they don't do anything, they just go in, take photos and leave. So now he started to charge people to take photos, which is understandable, because if you're not going to buy a carpet and you're just going to go and take photos, I think that's incredibly rude. People do it here as well. They do it to places like Peggy Portions all the time, when they just stand outside, take photos and leave. So no, we didn't end up paying. I spoke with the guy. We were there for 3 hours, just hanging out with him and his dad, like his family basically. And they were really lovely to us. They gave us lots of recommendations. They let us take photos, and the guy even had some ideas. So the photo of me lying down in between all the carpets, that was his idea. He ran up to the roof, took that, and basically they were just really lovely. So if you do go there, I would suggest sitting down, talking to him, talking to his dad and learning more about the carpets, because there's so much history behind them. Where did you stay in Dubrovnik? So I know Dubrovnik can be quite pricey. The first place that we stayed there was in a little town called Malini, and I would definitely recommend it there. It's really small, there's really nice apartment hotels there, but it's also really close to Dubrovnik, so you go down to the beach and you get a little seaboat which takes about 10 to 15 minutes and goes straight into Dubrovnik Old Town. And it's ridiculously cheaper to stay there rather than in Dubrovnik. Do you go on holiday just to have fun, or is it always work? So most of the time it's work. Most of the time I will be taking photos the whole time, and I'll have to meet up with hotels or tours or something. But I always make sure at least once a year I have like a proper holiday, and that's normally to a place in Turkey, in Antalya, to a hotel basically. We stay there for a week, and I don't take any photos. I don't even go on my phone basically for the whole week that I'm there. Have you gotten any brand deals? Yes, I have. I had one recently with Moroccan oil for my hair, which I really enjoyed. It was really nice, but they had a lot of rules basically, and I had a set time when I had to post what the photos needed to look like. They wanted a video, but I wasn't filming then. But then that led on to them offering me to get my hair done, hair dyed, and then talk about that experience. But again, like, I was busy, I was going on holiday and something else to do. I had to go to the hotels. Do you get cake at Peggy's or just take photos? So like I said, I will definitely stand in line and get the cake because I think it's incredibly rude when people just go to a venue, take a photo and leave. Like, you'll see this, the line for Peggy's is also quite long. It's about like an hour and a half line, and whilst you're in that line you'll see hundreds of these Instagram people just run up, take photos, like push you out the way, get you to move out the way, get their shot and leave, which is honestly just like the worst thing that you can do, because you're not even like inputting into that, like into the cafe, like you're not buying a cake, you're not enjoying it, it's just all fake. Whereas if you actually went in, tried the cakes, you can talk about that in your post. Like, the cakes there are really nice, and honestly I would definitely recommend it. How do you never run out of photos? I do. I run out of photos all the time, but whilst I'm on holiday I'll make sure there's like so many. Like when we went to Istanbul, in my drafts I had about 50 photos that I could post, so that was like 50 days worth, but obviously running out now, which means on occasion I'll post like a throwback, or I'll go out and do something in London, or get a deal in London, or just anything basically. Go to a restaurant, talk to them, post about them, and yeah. How often do you post? I post every day. I post every day. Normally weekdays it'll be just around 9 AM, and weekends I try to post around like 10, 11ish. What's the one thing you wish you did in Cappadocia? I wish I went on a hot air balloon. We didn't get time to do that because of like the whole hotel hiccup thing. We had to go to the other place and it was just all a bit of a shambles, but I really wish we went on a balloon because it looked like it was so much fun and I think it would be a great experience. Will you travel Asia? I want to. Have you been to America? Yes, I have. A few years ago I went to New York with my uni. We were in there for about 5 nights. But it was really good, I loved it. I spent the whole time like just with my head in the sky, just looking at all the lights. And we went just before Thanksgiving. So everything was just like really lovely and really pretty, and it started to snow. It was the first snow of the year. We were in Central Park, we went to the zoo. It was great, basically, yeah. How do you communicate in other countries? I tried to learn at least a few like basic words before I get to the country, just so I can get through the day, and so I don't get scammed basically. I ask like how much something is, and then I normally don't have to say no, that's too much. Just basic things, and if it's Turkey then obviously I can speak it. If it's a Spanish speaking country, that's fine. Yeah, so I learn a few words beforehand, and on the flight I'll be practicing, and yeah. Do you approach hotels? Sometimes I do, and sometimes they approach me. For example, if I'm going to somewhere that I really always wanted to go, I'll approach them like, hey, do you mind if we do a photo shoot there? And most of the time when you offer that, they'll say, yeah, sure, if you do this and this and this, you can have the room for free. Basically, that's how it works. Do you travel budget airlines or luxury? I always travel budget airlines because it's a budget airline, so I don't need to spend more money because I travel a lot. But my one holiday that I go to that isn't work related, I always take Turkish Airlines just because it is luxury. What things do you consider before choosing a holiday destination? So my holiday destinations, normally I'll go on like Ryanair and I'll see which is the cheapest place to go to basically on the weekend, and then research from there onwards. Like when I booked Copenhagen, I got it in the Boxing Day sale and it was like, I think £17, if that, for the return flight. And then I searched like what to do in Copenhagen, where we can stay, the places we can go to, and when we were there as well, we found out more places like Paper Island, and like I didn't know that was a place there. But if you do go to Copenhagen, definitely make sure you go to Paper Island because it's just really beautiful there, and they have like a massive warehouse and there's loads of different types of street food. And yeah, what type of holidays do you prefer? Like I said, when it's like to do work or anything, I prefer city holidays just because there's a lot more to do, whereas beach holidays, you kind of, after a few days there's nothing else. But again, I don't think I could do without my yearly trip to Turkey when I'm just on the beach for 2 weeks. So yeah, that's it so far. There might be a part 2 to this depending on how many more questions I get. Raine, do you have any questions? No? Yeah, so thanks for watching. This is nice, short and sweet. Yeah.